So, what created the Big Bang?
I don't know. That's not part of my belief about it. That's also not part of the Big Bang. The Big Bang
Okay,
does not include a description of what made it happen. There aren't any
so can
scientific.
you
That's not how scientific theories work.
so you don't actually know what happened.
I don't know what made the universe start to expand, but it does do that. And it's true that it has a beginning point in what we call time. And it's true that as the universe expands, it does not create new matter, which is what a steady state theory would imply. I mean, hundreds of years ago, none of us knew what made Earth go around the sun. But to go around saying, well, then therefore the Earth doesn't go around the sun would be kind of silly.
Um, so do you believe that an infinite regress of dependent things exist?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay, so it sounds like you're pretty lost. Like you don't really know anything about the Big Bang, and
You know how the entire universe got created? You're the smartest human being who's ever existed. You actually know that. Tell me.
but okay, but
Tell
you
me.
you
Tell me.
don't
Tell me.
know.
Tell me. Tell me. I'll write a letter to Nature magazine. You'll be on the cover. You'll win a Nobel Prize. Tell me.
No. Oh man, you're funny.
I'm not joking at all. How did it happen?
You won't believe me if I told you.
Try me, sweetheart. That was not a very good face zoom. It wasn't centered. How did it happen?
I believe a God exists.
I didn't ask you that.
Yes, you did. You asked me, how do you think that it happened? And
I
that's
asked
how
you
I
how,
believe it.
and you told me what. So that doesn't really make any sense. How did it happen?
God created it.
How? Again, I asked you how, not what.
Can you be more specific, please?
Yes. So what I would like you to do is tell me how the universe was created.
My, so God created it
Yeah, how? I didn't ask you what. I asked you how.
because He wanted it to exist.
I didn't ask you why. I asked you how.
What do you mean? Can you be more specific?
No, I literally can't. I cannot be more simplistic, specific, focused about this. I cannot. The only thing I could possibly
Then,
do is make this more complicated, and I don't want to do that.
okay, all I know is that He created it in 7 days
Great. How do you know that?
because it says in the Quran.
Oh, how do you know that that's true?
Okay, so there's been a lot of old Qurans, maybe 1,000 years ago. They've been found, and have
The fact
every
that the
single.
words haven't changed means nothing at all. Means nothing at all. That has no implications for what occurred billions of years ago whatsoever. So again, but you're still only telling me what, not how. So God created the universe. I didn't ask you what created the universe. We can include that, but I'm asking how. This is where you're going to give me a reason to believe you.
Because there can be an infinite number of regress of
That's an
dependent
argument
things.
from ignorance. Tell me how.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Or
Can you count them?
I guess an argument from personal incredulity would be probably a little bit more accurate, but they're sort of the same thing. So
Okay,
again,
can
I'm
you count them?
asking you how.
I'm gonna give you the same answer all the time.
So don't tell me a completely separate thing that can't be. Back up your claim. Backing up your claim is not when you look at a separate claim and be like, well, this other one's impossible, therefore mine is true. Those two things don't logically follow. I'm asking you to tell me, how did the universe get created? Because you claimed to know. Put it in reverse, Terry. Back it up.
You can't even back the Big Bang up.
You don't think that the universe expands? Keep in mind, we went over this earlier, so this would be a little bit strange if you thought
How
that the
do I
Big Bang
believe?
was an explanation for what made the universe begin to exist, because it isn't that. It's never been that. Anybody that understands it would know that. So I never claimed that I know how the universe began to exist. I just, I just believe the pretty much undeniable scientific evidence that shows we live in an expanding universe that does not create
So
new
show me
matter
the
over
scientific
time.
evidence. So show me the scientific evidence.
You seriously don't think that the universe expands?
No, not that. That the Big Bang exists.
That is the Big Bang.
So how do you believe who created the universe?
That's not part of what the Big Bang is. You're
Okay,
asking
so
me a
why
completely
do we have
different
a universe?
question. I don't know what made the universe begin to exist.
So you're lost.
No.
Yes.
No.
You don't believe in God, right?
Do you know what country Timbuktu is in?
Oh, why do you keep it
Did you just
going
say
on, man?
no? You are so lost.
No,
I
that's
can't
not.
believe how
See,
lost you are. Do you know what the capital of Djibouti is?
do you believe in God?
Oh, you are the most lost person I've ever met. Do you know what Messier 87 is?
Why are you ignoring my questions?
Oh, you are so lost. You don't know that either? Man. Well, it's just that this guy once told me, he asked me this singular question, and I admitted that I didn't know the answer to that singular question, and then he told me that that means that I am lost. And so I was like, oh, okay, so if you don't know the answers to specific questions that people bring up, then that means you're lost. And you don't know what the capital of Djibouti is. You don't know what country Timbuktu is in. You don't know what Messier 87 is. I highly doubt that you know what hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is either. I mean, it's just, you're lost. It's
I
embarrassing.
mean, let me tell you something. So people
Okay.
my age probably never. I mean, they don't know that stuff. But let me tell you. So I get you're pretty experienced. I see that you're ignoring the infinite regress of dependent things question, and I know you're ignoring it by
No, actually,
choice.
I said, I don't know, probably not.
But do you think that there can be an infinite regress of dependent things?
Probably not.
So, so you believe that it has to stop somewhere and make sense?
But, or it could work in a way that we just don't understand yet. Like if time is cyclical instead of linear, then it wouldn't be infinite regression. It would go in cycles. What does that mean? I don't really know, but I don't pretend to know how universes get created. I'm not like you.
Yes, I know.
And that's a
So,
good thing.
okay, have you heard of the domino analogy?
No? Is this just going to be some first mover thing?
No, no. Okay, imagine what's it called? So,
They're called
imagine that there's
dominoes.
an unlimited sets of dominoes in front of you, okay?
Okay.
There has to be someone who pushed the first domino.
Yeah, that's a first mover argument, which is exactly
No, it's
what I
not.
said.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is. There has to be someone who pushed the first domino. Come on,
Yes.
dude. Come on.
Why is that
Dude,
funny? Why is that funny?
because you're being completely obtuse.
What do you mean? How is that being?
Oh man, you're lost.
So, can you say anything to counter the domino analogy?
Back it up. The burden of proof is on you. It's just a logical argument. Anybody can make a logical argument where the conclusion follows from the premises. That doesn't mean that the premises are true, right? Like, look at this.
Yes,
I
I
got a
know
book.
that.
I got a book. This book is true. There, that proves it. That doesn't actually prove it. Because what if this book says all penguins are 5,000 feet tall? Well, the book is true because the book says it's true, and that proves it, but it isn't actually true. So you need to back up your claim.
So the domino analogy doesn't have anything to do with the book.
I didn't say that it does.
Yeah, I know you didn't, but you just brung up a book after I told you my argument.
I brought up the book to point out that logical arguments in and of themselves don't prove anything. So I'm asking you to back up your first mover thing, the uncaused cause, the
Okay,
domino effect.
let me ask you, who do you think pushed the first domino?
I don't have a belief about it. You may as well ask me what flavor are alien testicles. I don't have an opinion on it.
Okay, well, not that kind of opinion. What do you think? Who do you think pushed the first domino?
I don't have a belief about it.
Because you don't know, right?
Right. And we
And
have no
don't
good
you feel
evidence
like
in any the the because we have total ignorance about this. People have beliefs about it, but we have total ignorance about it, which means it could literally be anything. And if it can be anything, if it can be an infinite number of things, then that means that all of them just start with a baseline like probability of 0, because that's the only value you can give any of them. Because if any of them have any value and there are an infinite number of them, then the odds add up to infinity, which is silly. But in the face of total ignorance, we should just admit that we have no idea. That's how I feel about it, at least. So I don't have any beliefs about what made the universe begin to exist. It's not the Big Bang. Like, you came in here and you thought you were going to argue with somebody that thinks the Big Bang made the entire universe begin to exist. That's not what the Big Bang is, and I don't think that. And maybe you thought I was going to say it's quantum fluctuations that could blah, 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 blah. And maybe there are multiple universes and blah, 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 blah. I don't have an opinion or a belief about it. But if you're making a claim, back your claim up. That's where we started, like, a few minutes ago. And I just have to laugh really hard because somebody said extraterrestrials.
oh,
Okay,
someone just
sorry.
gave you the money gun.
They gave me the money gun. Yes, I see that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, anyways, why should I believe you?
Why you should believe that there was someone that pushed the first domino?
Yeah, why should I specifically believe it was a someone or a something? Why should I believe there's only one of them? Why should I believe it has any of the characteristics you say? Well, that would be a little too specific, but why should I
What
believe
did
you?
I say about characteristics, sir?
Well, you believe in a specific God. I assume you're not a deist or anything like that. But that's not really important. So why should I believe you?
That's what logically makes sense best.
Right. Again, a logical argument doesn't, in and of itself, doesn't prove anything.
So
Why should
humans
I
tend
believe you?
to think logical.
I'm sorry, what?
Human tends to think logical.
Well, sometimes we do that. Other times I would argue we don't. So, anyways, why should I believe you?
I already answered your question, sir.
When?
5 minutes ago.
Okay, well, I just hit my head and I have amnesia, so I don't remember what you said. So, can you tell me again?
Okay. So we've already discussed that there can be an infinite degrees of dependent things, and you agree with me, right?
It doesn't appear that there can be. Yeah.
So why don't you think that it has to stop somewhere
I
and
never
make
said
sense?
that it doesn't. I'm agreeing with you. It appears to be that way. This is where we've gotten so far. This is your like justification. This is your claim or whatever. Why should I believe your claim?
What do you want me? Do you want me to show you some statistics? Like, what do you want me to do?
Evidence would be good. I don't know what you mean by statistics.
It's not about evidence. It's literally just a logical argument against someone
Why
that doesn't believe.
what
What?
things other than the thing we're talking about? What other things do you believe with an equally deep conviction that you have no evidence for?
I have. What do you mean? Evidence about the domino analogy?
You said it's not about evidence. Are you telling me you don't have any evidence? You said it's all about logic or something like that.
Yes,
So are you
it's
are you
about
literally
logic.
claiming that there is no evidence that can back up your belief?
So let me give you a chain for reference. So
A
the
chain.
domino analogy is meant to demonstrate every event or thing in the chain is dependent on
I
something
know, it's a
that came before.
contingency argument. I know what it is. I'm asking you if you have any evidence.
If you, I mean, these questions are like, if I ask you, do you have evidence that you means you? It's the same questions.
No.
But why do you want me to give you an English lesson?
An English lesson? I'm
Yeah,
asking you for evidence to back up your claim. And it sounds like
it's
you're
not a
admitting that
claim.
there is no evidence. And if that's
No,
the
it's not a,
case, then why should I believe you?
because I'm trying to demonstrate something.
You're making logical arguments. Why should I believe your logical argument?
Because it's a logical argument made so you can understand.
All giraffes speak French. There. George is a giraffe. Oh, hold on. All
No, but that's
giraffes,
something we
all
know is
giraffes
false.
speak French.
That's something we know is
Jeffrey,
false.
Jeffrey is a giraffe. Therefore, Jeffrey speaks French. Sacre bleu, omelette de fromage. Oh oui oui, croissant. There, that proves it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It's a logical argument. The conclusion is guaranteed by the premises. All giraffes speak French. I'm a giraffe. I speak French. Voila.
That doesn't have a soul.
A soul?
Yeah.
How could that possibly be relevant? We're talking about whether or not just because you make a logical argument means that it's true.
You can ask that for everything, can't you?
Ask what for everything? If it's true or if it
Yes.
has a soul?
First one.
Are you trolling me?
It seems like you're the one trolling me. You don't want to answer any of my questions.
Oh, that's not true at all. Um, let's see. Um, okay, what were we talking about? Okay, so yeah, why should I believe your arguments? Or is there any evidence for? Man, we've kind of gone all over the place. Do you have any evidence to back any of your claims up? And a metaphor is not evidence.
Okay, so let me give you another reference.
No, not a reference. Evidence.
What kind of evidence?
Any kind? Tangible evidence? Like physical evidence? Or maybe like a mathematical proof, even though a mathematical proof isn't physical. Could go with that.
It's not really a scientific theory though, so it can't really be directly proven or disproven.
The existence of the Great Wall of China is not a scientific theory, but there's evidence for it. Things that are true, I would argue, there's evidence for it.
But I'm trying to make you think of something in your head to make you understand. I'm not
I
like trying
know.
to tell you.
Yes, that's
I'm
that's
not
how
I'm not
that
really
is
trying
that
to
is how
tell you that
humans do. I would say everything metacognitively. So I'm just asking for evidence. If there's evidence, if there's no evidence, then just say there's no evidence.
there's no evidence.
Okay, then why should I believe it? Well, actually, I've asked that question a million times, so maybe you're sick of that question. But maybe a different question would be, what other things do you believe in with this much conviction that you have no evidence for?
What? Sorry, my internet.
Other than this thing we're talking about, the existence of God, ignore that. What
Oh,
other things do you believe in with this much conviction for which there's no evidence for?
um, I would probably say other philosophies.
Like what?
I forgot the name, but it's the one where you, for example, when you have a cookie, you give it to others because it's just worse for yourself to have it because you can make other people happy instead of yourself.
We could literally test that. We could test if people are happier after they like give to charity or whatever. Those kinds of tests have been done. So there is
Okay, can you
evidence
prove
to back that
happiness?
up.
Can you prove happiness?
Can I prove happiness? I don't even know what
Yeah,
that means. It's just a social convention, but we can
exactly. I'm
describe
I'm
we
just
can
giving you
describe
this.
the effects that people have and what they describe
No,
as happiness. And people in general have that same kind of experience.
I'm just giving you the same questions that you gave me if you understand.
Okay? Like, but happiness is something that I can experience myself and you can experience yourself.
Okay, so you believe in that philosophy then?
Well, yeah, I don't
Yes.
understand why not. But again, there's evidence for it. I asked you for something that there's no evidence for, and I just don't agree that this is something that lacks in evidence. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there was this thing. I forgot the name. Well, hold on, let me just find out real quick. Uh, it was a philosophy. I'm serious. So it's called the principle of plentitude. Imagine that there's a toy car in front of you, okay? And one of the mechanism messes up just a little bit, the whole car is gonna stop working.
Yeah, that's called irreducible complexity.
No, it's called the principle of plentitude.
It's actually not. Oh, okay, let's see. I'll look something up real
So,
quick.
do you believe that the universe is optimized for life?
Life exists in the universe, optimized, and I don't know about that.
Why not?
Why? Life should exist in every
Water,
nook and cranny
light.
in the universe if that was the case. It doesn't seem that that is the case.
Let me adjust something in the universe, and you tell me if we can live without it. Okay?
What?
Let's
Okay.
say that the sun wouldn't exist. Would we exist?
Humans? No. Could life exist? Yes.
No, I'm talking about humans.
No, you said life, not human life.
Okay, but now I'm saying human.
Okay, so we're doing the anthropic principle.
No.
Yes, this is the anthropic principle.
Okay, would most life not die?
Are we talking about life or are we talking about humans? Because you said
We're talking
life,
about
and then you said humans, and now you're saying
yeah,
all
yeah.
life.
I said humans, but you didn't want to talk about humans because that's not what I said in the first place. So now we're talking about life, I guess.
We're talking about life. Without the sun, life could exist.
But would most life exist?
How could that possibly be relevant?
It's relevant because I'm trying to teach you that if you adjust at just a little bit of the toy car, the whole toy car is gonna go corrupt.
Deleting the entire sun is analogous to, yeah, again, that's irreducible. You have combined, you've somehow tried to connect the anthropic principle with the fine tuning argument with irreducible complexity. These are completely different arguments, and you're calling it the principle of plenty, which isn't what it is. So,
Well,
well, okay,
it,
here's the
it's
deal. You're
also
like
it's
you're
also
really not a
known.
very serious person, and I'm not interested anymore.